on to the movie theater. Okay, remember, we got to do the grid wall first.
Oh, I already did that. I already
that
have
one?
that achievement.
You have the one for activating the hologram?
I think we were talking. I think we were hanging out, and you mentioned it. I'm like, oh shit! But no, I got from this on. I got the achievements.
Okay.
Run, run. I'll do the top if you're doing it, which is the opposite of real life.
No, you do the tops, I do the bottoms. That adds up.
Okay.
So I was just thinking about this. If you could take one superhero that isn't from Marvel or DC, and it can be from anything, not just comics, any superhero, and put them in either Marvel or DC, who would it be and why?
Meteor Man. No, I'm just kidding. The thing is, I'm not like, because the thing is, a lot of like superhero, like they eventually got like comic book adaptations from like for instance like Terminator and RoboCop, like they eventually got like those comic book adaptations. So I can't really like.
Would you consider them
maybe,
superheroes?
Like, I mean, they're technically kind of count. Well, at least RoboCop does.
I guess.
Maybe Iron Giant. Like I don't know. Like
that could be
he's essentially just a you know, like a allegory for Superman anyway. So
fair.
So it would just be like that character. But I don't know. It would be fun to see them interact. Just be like, hey, buddy, you did a good job saving the world. Good job, man.
I would go with the human
like,
bullet from The Tick. Just because he's stupid and funny.
Okay.
His whole thing is like every time there's something going on in the city, he's constantly wearing his costume. His family is always having like a barbecue or something. Then he gets in a giant cannon and yells, "Fire me, boy!" And then his son fires him out of a cannon. I feel like that could be fun.
And like, I feel like that could work as like a running gag in like, in something where it's like every time that happens, he misses the crime scene. Like every time, like he like goes, "Fire me, boy," and then he like goes, and then but then he always misses, and then like he finally gets like when the big climax of the movie happened, so he finally gets there, but like after it's all done, so he's like, "Oh, come on!" I don't know. I feel like that would be a fun running gag.
Now, honestly, if he were he that would be a fitting thing for like the original run of the Defenders. The original run of the Defenders had so many stupid things, like the elf with a gun.
I don't know, that sounds pretty awesome to me.
Yeah, it was just literally it had nothing to do with anything. It's just every few issues there would be a completely unrelated scene that we'd see an elf with a gun killing people. Just because. It had nothing to do with the story. It was not part of a subplot they were building up. It's just a thing they put in it. Because, if I remember correctly, the writer Steve Gerber was just a lunatic. Which, you know, what do you expect from the guy who created the Master of Quack Fu?
Yeah, that worked. Yeah, also, where is our Disney Plus series of Howard the Duck?
Literally!
Sir? Like, come on, you have Seth Green fucking voicing him. That's like, come on.
Make him and Darcy canon. I ship it.
Honestly, you know what? She might not have the duck tits, but she's into that duck dick.
You know, honestly, I would love to see them do like an animated adaptation of is Marvel Zombies, but specifically just Marvel Zombies 5.
Is that we are getting a Marvel series, like a series of Marvel Zombies. It's probably going to be bad, but you know, we're getting it.
I would just love
like it's this thing that people like. Let's do it, and then let's bastardize what little of it goodness there actually is of it.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of people, myself included, in hindsight, have been like, there really wasn't that much goodness to begin with.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like because I remember we've talked about this where it's like Marvel Zombies is like known. It's like this like known thing, whether you know Marvel or you don't, where it's like Marvel Zombies, and that's it. That's all they have is like the title of like Marvel characters as zombies, and that's where the coolness of it ends.
Yeah, because like it's not terrible. It's just like it's dumb, and it kind of doesn't know that it's dumb, except when it does.
I know there was Army of Darkness versus Marvel Zombies at one point, right?
Yeah. The best parts of it are that 3 and 5, because they barely have anything to do with it. Because 3 is just Machine Man running around killing zombies, and then 5 is just the two of them killing extra-dimensional zombies. And then the Marvel Apes crossover. Just because it's a Marvel Apes crossover.
That's about right.
And in the Marvel Apes universe, Captain America was actually a bad guy because he was actually Baron Blood who replaced him.
Or
no, honestly, that's a Captain America villain I would love to see them try and do, because like they tried Red Skull, it was fine. No one gives a shit about Zola, and he has so many other villains they could do. Like they wasted Crossbones. No one cares about Sin.
He should have been the main villain of Civil War. Don't at me.
What? Red Skull?
Crossbones. Yeah, because it was like...
he's not...
You have this character that has like a lot of vengeance for Captain America, and then he's just a cold open villain for the actual plot to start. It's like, you could have done more with him.
They could have, but Crossbones isn't a main villain type of character. He can't really carry that.
No, I know. The main plot would be Civil War, but he would be like the guy like trying to, do everything.
He's too dumb to do that. Like, that's the thing.
I guess.
He's a henchman he's an advanced henchman.
Like Scarecrow.
No, Scarecrow could carry a movie by himself. They just haven't given him the chance.
Not according to a buddy of mine. He's like, when will people stop treating Scarecrow like he's an actual main villain? He's a glorified henchman at most. I'm like, okay.
Incorrect. Your friend is an idiot.
Yeah.
No, it's like when he's done right, when they give him the respect he deserves, he can be fantastic. It's just people are like, oh, he's just some doof. It's like, yeah, because he's been portrayed that way a bunch of times, but he's capable of more. Just because he's not the Joker doesn't mean he's worthless.
And you could say that for a lot of Batman's rogue gallery.
This is true. Like, honestly...
It's like the Joker and all these other guys.
It's like the Joker, Ra's, and Bane are the ones that are held up as, like, the top guys. But really, the only reason Bane is one of the top guys is because of the snap. That's it. He's not that good.
I think, like... Well, the thing I don't like is, like, in the modern era of, like, oh, look, Deathstroke. He's, like... the antithesis of Batman. It's like, no, Bane is the antithesis of Batman. That's like the whole point. He's like, no, Deathstroke. And it's like, no, Deathstroke is a Teen Titans or a Nightwing villain.
Exactly.
Stop.
Deathstroke has so many of his own issues. Like, I'm literally right now, I'm reading his first solo series from the 90s. The first of several attempts to make him an anti-hero. And
isn't that true with, like, most villains nowadays? Let's make him an anti-hero, because why not?
Not most, it just feels that way, because every fucking movie feels the need to give the villains a sympathetic backstory.
Yep. Thanks, Thanos. Fuck you. Oh, speaking of stupid movies, are you excited for Madam Web?
I'm not excited, but I'm willing to see where it goes. It's either going to be real bad, or at least fun.
I mean, we'll see Sydney Sweeney in tight leather. That's, that'll be something.
I don't know who that is.
Hot chick that the internet loves.
Good for her.
She's got very big boobs.
Okay.
She was on Degrassi with Porn. That's where she got her big start.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's why I don't know her, because I've actively avoided watching that show.
Which is fair, but she's good in other stuff.
No, my biggest issue with that, just based on the trailer, is, like, with Maddie, because, like, okay, fine, they race swapped or whatever. She has the giant fucking afro, and it looks ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, in general, I hate, like, aesthetically, the whole, oh, they wear a cowl with the hair exposed. It just seems so dumb. It's not as bad as when they have the hair and their face exposed, because then it's just pointless. But, like, having hair exposed at all, that's a potential problem. Having a giant fucking afro, you're begging for someone to just set you on fire. Like,
yeah.
Come on. The only way it would be acceptable is if at the end of the movie she's fighting Ezekiel, and she has an undercover brother style, you mess with the fro, you have to go moment.
And they aren't that talented to think of that, so that's probably not gonna happen.
That would be the first thing I thought of if I was like doing a thing with a character with an afro, but that's just because I fucking love that movie. That is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, post Doogie, pre How I Met Your Mother, Neil Patrick Harris. Good times.
And he gets to crush a guy's skull with his bare hands. And hang out with Dave Chappelle. The two dreams of every guy.
That's just the dream. Unless you're liberal, but that's beside the point.
It's funny. I watched Dave Chappelle's new special, and it was really funny. And every time he puts out a new special, you see the people complaining, "Oh, he's so mean to the trans community." Every single trans person I know, and I know many, love him.
Yeah,
because he's hysterical, and he treats them like people because he makes fun of everybody, which is his main appeal.
He's an equal opportunist offender. That's like the whole basis of comedy.
That's the thing. I feel like as a comedian, you can either, offend everybody or nobody, and you have to pick one.
Because that's what Bill Burr does. He's you gotta get both. You gotta get both. He's like for instance, when you during the election, he was like, you gotta tweet something like, Donald Trump is such a fucking idiot, he would make me want to vote for a woman. He's like, you gotta get both in one fell swoop. So, it's you gotta, and then, or it's like Jim Gaffigan, where he just constantly talks about food.
Yeah. Or John Panette, where he just constantly talks about food.
Or John Mulaney, where he just constantly talks about his coke habits, subconsciously or consciously.
No, John Panette is the prime example of an inoffensive comedian, because he barely ever even swore, and that made it, the times he did, that much funnier.
I don't give a shit about the TV. I got other things on my mind, like funeral arrangements.
My favorite, I have two favorites for John Panette swearing. One is, "Oh, coupons, you bitch." That is that one. And then there was when he's talking about the coupons at Bed Bath & Beyond. He's like, "You could have one from Linens and Things, and they closed, and they'll swipe it. You could write coupon on a Snickers wrapper, and they will take it. I could write coupon on my ass and slide. That is a double coupon." I miss him. Taken from us far too soon.
Yeah, and we still have to live with Amy Schumer. Life ain't fair.
I know it's funny, I was having a fucking Mandela effect moment the other day almost. Because my parents were watching one of the Stephen Lynch's specials. And one of his best songs, and one of mine and my family's favorites since I was a wee lad, is Special Ed, where he talks about his friend Special Ed. And he did he later edited it and changed it to Special Fred to make it slightly less offensive. And I was like, I heard that and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is not right. What is this? And oh yeah, it's always been this way. And I was like, no, it has not. And I spent an hour trying to find the unedited version. I was like, oh, thank God, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, no, I was, when you sent the Craig Price that video the other day, the Special Ed was the one that, came up. And I was gonna listen to it, but then I had to go eat dinner. So, but, yeah, good times.
I love Craig Christ. That's one of my favorites. It was funny because I have I know someone who's currently seeking to escape the Jehovah's Witnesses, so I sent them that song. I was like, oh, you'll appreciate this.
I bet Craig would turn sugar into booger sugar.
Yeah, I've never liked that term for it.
But booger sugar?
Yeah, I prefer nose candy.
I don't know. I just like the fact that it rhymes. It's funny. And booger. Booger's a funny word, so.
That's fair. Oh, God, I hate wearing fucking headphones for an extended period of time.
Yeah, like, I get the famous dent in my head, which, by the way, is not medically bad. Like, many because that was like a whole thing. Like, oh my god, it fucked up your head. It's like, no, it's just your skin is very malleable, and it's just gonna happen if you wear headphones a lot. That's from a doctor, so, shut up.
Was it Dr. Oz?
So, and not Dr. Oz, an actual doctor.
Okay, good.
And, and so, but the thing is, unlike most people who have hair, where, that is, I don't have hair. So, I just get a dent in my head for like a good amount of time where just the skin is very malleable and it's just very soft and weird. And it's very annoying. Not annoying, just like awkward. It's like, what the fuck is up with your head? It's like, I was wearing headphones.
No, the issue for me is like, because my glasses, I have like, fairly big headphones. So my glasses, like the tip of it is like right inside of it. It's like presses into my ear.
Yeah, that's why I don't try to wear glasses. But the thing is, you have worse vision than I do.
Yeah.
So
my glasses are non-optional.
Yeah, nope. And so luckily I don't have to wear them, but it sucks because it's like the few times like where I've like been like going back and forth between like going up and downstairs or like just like doing stuff around my house and then sitting at my computer for a little bit, I'm like, why the fuck do I have like a massive headache right now? I'm like, oh, because I'm wearing my glasses and they're burying into my head. So I take them off and then immediately I'm fine.
I started watching those Mortal Kombat Legends movies, and the first one is like, it's pretty good. Like, it's not perfect, but it's fine. But I watched the fourth one first because I didn't know it was a series, and two, it's a prequel anyway, so it didn't like ruin anything other than Johnny Cage as a character because it's so fucking bad. Like, plus plus they got Joel McHale voicing Johnny, which is like, okay, he's a fine actor, but you get him to play people who are pieces of shit. Johnny isn't supposed to stay a piece of shit. you cast poorly, madam. And like the whole fucking first movie, or the whole Johnny Cage movie, it's like, oh yeah, he doesn't have powers, he doesn't do his own stunts, so just make him an asshole with nothing to like to give, and then he beats a literal elder god in a one-on-one fight, barely having activated his powers, and after already getting his ass kicked.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like that's just a whole lot of no. And I watched the first one, and it's fine. And I watched the second one, and I was like, oh, I can see why a lot of the Mortal Kombat fans hate this movie. Because it just takes the lore and shoves it down the toilet.
Oh, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, the lore of this franchise.
Taking lore and just getting on it. Good times.
And in fairness, it's fighting game lore, so it's not like it's hugely important. But the people who care, who presumably you're making these movies for, are gonna notice. Although I do like the guy that they have voicing Scorpion is the same guy who voices like Frankie in One Piece. I forget his name. He's a big voice actor. He voiced Superman in the Super Sons movie from a while ago.
Oh yeah, that was surprisingly really good.
Yeah,
I didn't mainly because it was like the weird animation was like kind of. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna watch this. But then since I was watching all the animated movies that had come out by that point, I'm like, you know what? Let me watch it. I love Super Sons. I love this series, and let's see. And I will say that the animation didn't bother me that much. Like, after a while, it was, like, weird getting used to, because it was, like, sort of like a 2D, 3D kind of thing going on, kind of like the Peanuts movie. But it was, like, really good. You got everything right, guys.
Yeah, my only issue with it was the animation.
Good on you.
Like, my only issue with it was the animation, because it's like, this is CGI. You should not have frame clipping as if you're lacking between animations on a CGI movie.
I mean, I'm not going to act like it's amazing, but I just kind of got used to it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, alright, yeah, I'll take it. But the thing is, the rest of the movie is so good that I just didn't care.
Yeah, it's still a great movie. I'd watch it again anytime. It's just like that just like mildly perturbed me. But no, it was really good. Like as the definitive #1 fan of the Super Sons, I loved it.
Okay. Did you meet with people on that, or did you just proclaim it?
I'm just saying I am, and anyone who wants to fight me can.
Fair enough.
You know, I have the fucking extended omnibus signed by Tomasi. I have the entire Challenge of the Super Sons book, even though it's not that good. I have the movie. I've read literally everything with the word Super Sons in it. And I will never forgive them for ruining it.
Fuck you, Dan DiDio, you sack of shit.
And also not letting them be gay as they clearly wanted them to be. It was supposed to happen.
I don't know, I think I just have, like, a really bad gaydar, because I just never view, like, any, like, oh yeah, these characters are totally gay, and then when it becomes canon, I'm like, oh, I never saw that ever, but, like, you know, good for you, like, no problem with that, but I just, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just, like, blissfully unaware, maybe I'm just that, I don't know.
Well, I feel like a big reason a lot of people didn't notice it at first is because they're kids, so, like, people didn't even, like, really look at them from, like, a shipping standpoint, because some people are really weird about that for some reason, and so they're like, oh no, they're just buddies, but then, like, no, the more you read of it, it's like, oh yeah, no, there's something there. Even if they aren't admitting it, it's definitely there. This is, like, you know, telltale signs. And then fucking Bendis ruined it by aging up John for no reason.
I don't totally blame Bendis. I do partially blame him, because it's fun to blame Bendis for things. However, Dan DiDio was like, he's like, I don't like sidekicks and legacy heroes, so we're gonna age them up, because I want to do my future state thingy. And everyone's like, no, that's fucking retarded. And he's like, well, fuck you guys, and then he left.
Fair.
Paraphrasing, of course. But Dan DiDio is a little bitch boy who's a little bitch.
No, so that sounds like a pretty accurate, you know, retelling of events.
And then Future State happened, and it was a confusing mess of shit, and nobody wants to talk about it, like with most DC things in modern day.
And they did basically nothing with it.
The only thing it did, it introduced Brazilian Wonder Woman, and that was it.
Yeah. It was just what we needed. A third Wonder Girl. As if the lore isn't... And an entire new tribe of Amazons. As if the lore isn't confusing enough already.
Yeah, because why not? DC, we're all about confusion here.
I was like, that's like their biggest issue. They care so much. They act like they give so much of a shit about their lore, and then just actively destroy it at every possible turn. Oh, God. This fucking wall was the worst part of this.
Why?
Because it's just like, there's so many crevices, it's so tall. It was so annoying when I did it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought it was the one you were doing, and I'm like...
No, both of these walls. The feature walls. It's like, I can already see it now. Both of them have, like, a fraction of a fraction left. And it's going to be a big to-do. You didn't do the grid wall.
And then another thing I didn't like in terms of modern DC, they fucked up Jessica Cruz for no reason. Because fuck them. They're like, oh yeah, let's make her a Yellow Lantern. And she, like, agrees with the sentiment of, like, space Nazis. Sure, why not?
That wasn't entirely what happened.
I mean, it kind of was.
There was more to it than that. I didn't continue read. I'm very behind, so like maybe something would happen. That wasn't exactly what happened when it started.
Okay. But it was like, I don't know, just the idea of making Jessica Cruz a Yellow Lantern is kind of dumb.
The idea of making any Green Lantern a Yellow Lantern is kind of dumb.
Jessica Cruz is my favorite, so I'm extra angry.
Interesting choice.
I just identified a lot with her character when I was reading Green Lanterns back in the day.
I can see it. My number one will always be Guy.
Yep.
Though Kilowog is a close second.
Not Chip.
No, fuck Chip. He deserved to get hit by that truck.
Damn, okay.
Like, he's fine, but no. I like Gnort more than Gnort more than I like Chip, which says a lot about how I feel about Chip. Because nobody likes Gnort.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, you did it.
Yeah.
You got the whole signboard.
I didn't get the whole signboard. I got the partial signboard.
Well, you
I still
got
have
the whole
sign
signboard that it was counting.
I think it's just I might have gotten the whole signboard. I think I'm just stuck with doing the sign now.
I don't know, ladder is one of those words that just sticks in my brain. It's like, oh, remember this thing? And I always just remember the scene from Kick-Assia when they're trying to invade Molossia and they hit the fence. And it's like, ladders! And they bring a ladder and it's too short, and so like, it's too tall, and it just flips over the front. It goes, footstools! And they get footstools and they get over it. I fucking love that movie. It's so stupid, but I love it.
The most of those movies, the anniversary specials of Channel Awesome.
Because they were fun. Even with all the baggage that's attached to them now, they're still fun.
Yeah. You have Doug acting like an asshole. Jew Wario being Jew Wario.
Mati died for our sins. Like, no joke, when that came out, I legitimately choked up a little bit for Mati. Are you excited for the new Spider-Man cartoon? It's going to be What If Spider-Man, but high school?
I'm curious about it. I mean, I don't like how they're doing, like, oh, it's a multiverse thing, but instead of him having his idol be Iron Man, it's a black Norman Osborn for some reason. Sure.
Well, in fairness, Norman Osborn being his idol initially makes some amount of sense.
Yeah, that makes more sense than Iron Man, I'll give him that, but it's just, like, weird. It's like...
Yeah, because he wasn't always evil.
And also, I am fully behind the conspiracy that they made him black purely on the grounds of Norman Osborn's weird hairdo in the comics that's like kind of cornrows but not really. And so they made him black to make it make sense when it didn't need to be. I'm fully behind that conspiracy theory.
You know, I could see it. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can follow the logic.
Awkward silence. Yeah, that's about right. Alright, is this the only thing that's left, or do we have still a little bit more?
There's these two fucking walls have something. This whole area, the curtain wall and all this shit, there's still like schmutz all over it.
Schmutzy.
You've got your fingerprints everywhere.
So weird how it's like, well, delete all the dirt if you're like mostly done with it, but no, these crevices. Fuck off, man.
Okay, is your definition of mostly or their definition of mostly? They're two very different mostlies. Oh, speaking of Mosley, did you hear that Ned and Mose from Ned's Declassified are having a baby?
I still don't know if that's a joke or not, and I can't tell.
I could believe it.
I don't know, they kind of, make fun of, like, they kind of, it feels like in their eyes, like, them doing a prank sort of thing.
Yeah,
like
but also they absolutely do have, like, chemistry, though. Like, so I could see it. It's like they constantly joke about, oh, we used to do some stuff together, and like they still want to do some stuff together. They definitely do.
Well, if they were fucking, they clearly were doing stuff.
Exactly. Ah, fuck. I fell. I mean, it was really funny. They put out the new Miraculous movie a little while ago, finally in America, and it was like a mirror universe kind of thing. And because in the alternate universe, the main villain was a good guy, they did a new version of the theme song where he sings it, and it's about him. And it was really funny. It was like, oh, this song is meant to have, like, you know, a relatively high-pitched teen girl voice sung by a grown-ass man. Fucking, there's still something on the turret wall.
I mean, if they have the, you know, singing ability like that guy from Aha or Frankie Valli, then honestly, go for it.
Well, no, he wasn't going for the pitch, which just made it funnier. It was just he was doing it in his normal voice.
Okay. That would have been really fucking funny if it was just, like, straight up, like the whole, or however the actual pitch is.
Yeah.
That would be...
See, I told you these walls were going to be a pain in the ass. The fuck is left other than the turret wall? The Jaw 19 sign.
Yeah, no, I tried to get everything, but I mean...
Where's the Jaw 19 sign? Oh, this. Why the fuck do I can't stay on a fucking ladder?
Footstool!
Why the fuck? Look, this is such terrible options for placement of this. Like, how the fuck?
Sorry.
Oh, and it's doing this shit again. Every time I grab... God damn it!
Alright, hold on. Just do the controller thing and then I'll do it.
I already did it.
Oh, the ladder. Okay.
God damn it! Fuck!
That would be a good move. Smash. Just, you know, like the power washer guy just coming in with a giant scaffolding and dropping it on someone's head. I don't know, I feel like that could...
Now they do that and then the alien shows up. Or, you know, the alien time traveler, whatever the fuck they were.
I think they were both.
Yeah, I don't have a problem where I can't put down the scaffolding. I don't have a problem where I can't put down the stool. And I only have a problem where I can't put down the ladder.
Fuck you, that's why.
Yep, didn't even notice I missed that. What more is there on the signboard?
It's probably all underneath. Oh my fuck, how is there more of the curtain wall? There's literally nothing. Fuck you.
I sniped it.
Grats. Oh, I got 2 more dings.
It's a multi-purpose surface, so I'm gonna try and get up close and personal. So glad that now it's like post game. Now we have infinite cleaning fluid. There we go. Fuck you. The hell is left? The turret wall and the upper feature wall.
Got some of the pilasters too, and some stuff under here.
Which upper which upper feature wall? There's wait. Upper side window frame. Got it. What other upper feature wall? There's only 2. Where the fuck is the turret wall? Multi-purpose.
It's this thing right here.
Yeah. Oh, what did we miss on the curb? Come on, curb, show your enthusiasm.
Or you could. You don't even watch the show. Fuck off.
I've watched it.
Final season coming out soon, I think. Or it came out already. I don't know. I think it was like 17th or something like that.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
And the last two should. Oh, I think it's the train and what else?
The trade.
Or is that the? Oh, we did the car, the truck, the clock tower. This, yes, the train and what the fuck else?